Thank you for giving me the honor to be here to speak today. I feel that I had the opportunity to serve, the honor to serve, because of men and women who paved the way generations before. And so when I look out here on these courthouse steps, on this lawn, I see people who served in Desert Storm and Vietnam and Korea, World War II, and other conflicts. I just want to say thank you. Because I think my generation had the opportunity to serve because you guys paved the way for us. I was inspired by my grandfathers. One of my grandfathers served in the United States Army Air Corps, World War II era, and my other grandfather was liberated by Allied troops during World War II. And growing up around our Sunday evening dinner table, Thanksgiving dinner table, and other family functions, my two grandfathers, who came from two totally different perspectives, one who wore the uniform of our military and the other who was liberated by Allied troops, they both ultimately came to the same conclusion, that they were so damn proud to be Americans. They were so proud to live in this country, and they knew that it wasn't free. And they hammered into me and instilled in me that pride, which ultimately motivated me and inspired me to join the Marine Corps. One of my most memorable experiences from my time in service was when we got back from our second tour. As we were coming in close to American airspace, the pilot got on the loudspeaker on the aircraft and said, "Marines, our ultimate destination is the Naval Air Station in Cherry Point, North Carolina, but we have to stop in Bangor, Maine." And I'm not sure what it was for, whether it was for refueling, what have you. But we stopped in this little airport in Bangor, Maine, and the pilot gets on the loudspeaker and says, "Marines, you got about an hour. So if you want to stay on the aircraft, you can stay on the aircraft. If you want to get off and go into the airport here, you can go into the airport." So a lot of us departed the aircraft, walked into this chute to enter the airport there in Bangor, Maine. And as we were just entering the chute, you could hear a bunch of clapping at the end of the chute. We didn't know what it was or who it was. And as we got closer, we saw a bunch of veterans. World War II, Korea, and mostly Vietnam. And these guys from Vietnam were there with their kids and their grandkids. And they looked us in the eye and they said, "Marines, no one was here to welcome us when we came home, so we're here to welcome you." And I can tell you, for a group of guys who just came over, supposed to be tough and rugged, there were definitely a lot of tears shed by us, these guys in their 20s coming back home. And we stood there for the next 45 minutes, what have you, with these Vietnam vets, just talking to them and looking them in the eye and thanking them. And I really think that's what Veterans Day is about. It's about those of us who wore the uniform in this era saying thank you to the men and women before us that paved the way to allow us to live in freedom. This morning I spoke at a school assembly. I told these kids to allow us to learn free and live free. But it's also about paying it forward. It's about some of these men right here who still carry a weapon, whether they're in the reserves or on active duty, who are paying it forward to the next generation. And when I think about my daughter Rosie, who's 18 months old, or my newborn son who's 6 weeks old, I'm thankful that there's a next generation of men and women who are raising their right hand so that my kids can perpetuate that dream and can live in a country that's free, where no one really cares what color your skin is or what religion you are or how big or small you are or how much money or little money your mommy and daddy have or where you're from, big city, small city. And we're all Americans first. And I'm just very proud to be able to live in a country that embraces those ideals and embraces the ideals of freedom and democracy. I'm also very thankful for the men and women who didn't come home. Those men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice so we could stand here on a glorious day in Chardon, Ohio, and we can break bread with our brothers and sisters or our family tonight for dinner. We, I think, owe such a gratitude to those men and women who left it all on the field and laid it on the line for us to stand here today. So for them, I say thank you. For the men and women who served in wars before, I say thank you. And for all the people who never wore the uniform, but who are out here today paying respect to men and women in the service, I appreciate it. And I'm very grateful and honored to have the opportunity to speak today. Thank you very much.